What's up, guys? It's Sam of the Portuguese Mofo here. So this was the battle I just did, just fought it, but I did want to record this one, which I had done earlier today, and first kind of see some of the stuff that was going on in other parts of the battlefield. Right, it's one thing when you do these big battles, you don't really get to see what's going on in other parts sometimes. I mean, you can go check, right? But usually I try to handle my job and then go assist elsewhere. Not that, although I try to be better aware of what's going on, farther on down the battlefield, right? Just with mouse overs and just, right, seeing who's winning their fights and who's not. And how I might need to adjust to that, right? There's only so much you can do to a point. But we'll see, right? It's kind of what happens at the end with our opponents, right? This is a battle that I do win, right? Big spoiler alert. But, yeah, we're just able to get them late. So let's slow this down a little bit. I should probably pause it, right? There is a lot going on here. So I've got, right, 3 units of Katana Samurai. I've got 2 units of Nodachis. I've got 2 units of Yari Eshigaru on the flanks, okay. I have 3, alright, actually it's got the Mounted Samurai Hero, the Yonobushi Heroine, and my bodyguard, which is a bow general for sure. We've got Great Guard and Yari Cav, as well as Great Guard and Yari Cav over here as well. So my ally here, Lucifer, alright, he's got 3 units of Shogatai, he's got the Parrot guns, he's got some Spear Levy, he's got 2 Black Tortoise Force, he's got some more Yariki up there at the top, his general, I say more Yariki, that's the only Yariki that he has, 3 of them over here, 4, excuse me, so 4 Yariki, I was gonna say, they were just all bunched there, and yeah, and for his general, he has a gun general, I don't see Gunbate there, so he's also put in a melee, so a melee gun general, he might be more of a melee style, but high damage for sure that he can put out. So we've got Prussian general over here, so Prussian has brought on his left flank here, he's got 2 units of Yari cavalry, he's got some Yari Ashigaru, some Naginata attendants, 2 units of Naginata attendants. Here in his center, he's got a bow warrior monk. He has 1, 2, 3 Nodachi samurai, from the looks of it. He's got a Naginata attendant here on his right flank, as well as a Matchlock samurai. He's got a Yari Cav, and he's got 1, 2 Yari Eshigaru and Naginata attendants as well. Another Matchlock Samurai, so we've got 2 Matchlock Samurai up here. Another Yari Eshigaru, we've got 2 Yari Cav here, or just 1? Looks like 1 Yari Cavalry mixed in there. And a light cavalry here in the back. So, and there's his general. And he has a... well, actually, I do think, yeah, he is a leadership general with some bow capability as well. So then we have Sub-Zero over here. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units of White Bears. He's got the Infanterie des Marines, the French version of the Marines. We got Spear Levy, we've got Yari Kachi, we've got Spear Levy, and then we've got 3 Yari Kiev and a Carbine Cav, as well as his general, who is a gun general for sure, and it looks like he probably put some stuff into leadership as well. So let's get over to our opponents here. So we've got Giuliano, if I had to guess, Giuliano. So he's got some Daikyus, Bow Samurai, and Bow Samurai in the front, as well as a Bow Warrior Monk all the way to the right. He's got long Yaris and then normal Yari Ashigaru. So 3 normal Yaris, 1 long Yari. He's got a Naginata attendant, a Nodachi samurai, and if I had to guess, some other hidden units. But we've got light cavalry, we've got 5 fire cavalry that is quite strong. We've got his bodyguard, who is a melee bodyguard, but actually he's a leadership general with stand and fight, but also with a heavy melee. So it looks like he probably balanced both out. But then we have light cavalry as well. Get over here to the old Ronin. So the old Ronin here, he's got Matchlock Ashigaru. I believe he has 2 of them, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so 2 Matchlock Ashigaru. Right, he's bunched them all here pretty good. It makes it quite difficult to decipher them all, but he's also brought 2 Foot Samurai, which are very cool and interesting to see in any battle. We've got let's see, how many Yari Ashigaru? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Yari Ashigaru, I think, if I'm not mistaken. We've got a lone sword, a Nodachi, so 1 lone sword, 1 Nodachi, and then his general, which is a leadership general with some melee buffs as well. So now we've got the army of Barakan. So this is my primary opponent through this battle. So he's got 1, 2, 3 Naginata warrior monk cavalry. He's got 1, 2, 3 mounted Naginatas. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 warrior nuns. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bow samurai. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 lone sword Ashigaru, and his bodyguard is a bow general with some melee stats also put into it as well. So, and then for the army of Hokuto Bronx, he has 1, 2, 3, so 2 bow warrior monks and a daikyu. He's got 1, 2, 3 Yari Ashigaru. He's got 2 katana sams. He has 1 Yari cav and 1 light cav here on his right flank. And his general is a leadership gen with some melee buffs as well. And if I had to guess, he has some hidden units. So without further ado, let's let this battle unfold. So there's obviously going to be a lot that goes on, right? I can make a focus on mine. I'm going to see how well I can sweep the battlefields in this replay as I continue to practice this. So, but this one's pretty fresh in my mind. Obviously, I just fought it probably an hour and a half ago or so. So take a look and see what's going on here, right? Prussian general, right? Advancing pretty hard against the old Ronin. Alright, we've got GL and some Wakos hidden over there. There they are, right? Get this farmhouse quick. We have the sword dojo here, and they're the only 2 dojos on the map, which is important to note. So I've got to watch my left flank here, right? But I also know that I can heavily assist here potentially. So what ends up happening is we kind of end up, a lot of this gets avoided, right? They're going to fight hard here, and me and Barak Khan are going to end up fighting pretty hard right in here a little bit, right? Which, this is kind of the kill zone on this map, if you, right? Right, it's just the open ground at the bottom, right, in this valley here, okay? So what I'm going to do, right, is I'm going to work to take, right, this hill. He's got a lot of bow sam, right, so... but they're much less effective when they're in the woods. I did bring 2 up here just to help assist, but he has, although he brought a Bushido type of build, he has a Fall of the Samurai arm, he has those parrot guns, so part of me is thinking he can get sucked in, but at some point when I decide to make my move to attack, I'm going to bring them back, right? So, and if we go up here, right, so Sub-Zero is able to hold out for a very long time. Up here, so be very curious to see what happens here. We've got some shots going off. Alright, I'm starting to move and come down through the forests there. Okay, but we've got the shots commencing. Alright, so Giuliano, he's about, if I had to guess, right, Sub-Zero is probably going to take him out pretty quick. And then is going to have some other problems to deal with after, right? So now we've got Prussian General exchanging, okay. Ooh, I got a nice charge into his warrior nuns there with my cocaine katanas, alright. He's getting the cav here. I was able to see them just in time. Now, he's going to be in better position to start, but I'm going to have some assistance coming, right? Those two guys, I started to move back, okay, and I'm moving my cavalry here. Now, I'm getting good help from Prussian, right? This was a great job by him. Great opportunity to charge, right? Takes his guys away from his own fight, but this is going to help us win right here, which becomes very important, right? So we're able to win over here and over there. I am going to lose cocaine, right? They always go. They never tend to do well at any of my battles, but that's okay. So we've got Sub-Zero up here, right? Just getting good positions, right? Even though they're in the forest, he's got line of sight. He's just, right, able to, right, get into range of those archers too. Now we've got a good gunfight going here, vanilla style, which is cool to see, right? And he's getting a lot of shots up in here into my Nodachis. They're getting diced up. Okay, he's even advancing here, right? So he was able to get some good moves. But right here is where we are going to be able to be most decisive. Eventually here, we're going to be able to win this. And shout out to Prussian General, right? He came and helped. I'm able to get some more Yaris in there. Okay, these Nodachis. I think I pop it in time. Nope, I didn't. I thought I was able to get off my bonsai there. But, so now we got the old Ronin, right? He's trying to help Giuliani, alright, and they're kind of getting some routing over here on Sub-Zero's left, so it's actually, I wonder how he recovers the situation. Part of it is his positioning up, and he's about to take on the hill, I think. Excuse me, old Ronin here, alright, starting to really push in heavy, with some help from Giuliani, which I think is probably what, maybe not. I don't know if he does come down to assist there, right? But the old Ronin's also down here. Okay, we are able to get this. I noticed this here, right? Like, oh, we're not even fighting anymore. Get into the fight because those bow Sams are going to start doing some devastating damage. Okay, I was able to clean up a lot of these lone swords and things like that. Now, he does a really good job with his general of running for a while. I'm going to see, like, I actually kind of, right now, I'm in this point of like, alright, where do I want to provide the most assistance? Here we go. Now I get this charge in here. So I know, right, I've got the sword dojo. I'm about to take it here soon with actually these Nodachis, if I'm not mistaken. And so up here, right, not a whole lot of action, right? He's been very hesitant to get up into Lucifer here, but Lucifer is going to end up start getting those parrot guns going and start getting some devastation. So here, right, Prussian General, he's going to do a good job of just holding the old Ronin here. So I'm able to get a few of these units isolated, right? These Foot Samurai, yeah, I'm pretty sure I do avoid them there. But now we've got Sub-Zero up here. Alright, holding the line against Giuliani, which, you know, he's going to come out of this fight, but, right, a lot of it is, he's not enough guys getting up into these guns, and he's able to layer some gunfire here, right, on top of each other, which is huge. You know, you don't usually get to set that up a ton in competitive multiplayer, right? Except really unless you're in a battle like this. So he's got overlapping fire going on each other. Okay, and the old Ronin is trying to, right, reposition in this force, which is a good move. And the Prussian General, right, holding out as long as he can, right, giving me a chance to regroup. So, you know, I remember I was super tempted to, right, to move up, but it's just like, hey, nope, you've got units here, right? I'm pretty sure they end up routing. We'll see what happens. Did I get their bonsai off? Yep, I sure did. So yeah, I get their bonsai off. I keep them going. I do move those Yaris back if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I lose them though. They're pretty beat up right there. But right, Sub-Zero has now sort of taken control of this situation up here. He's actually got some Yari Key there that are probably about to get routed just because he probably lost them, like we all do every once in a while, I think, right? And especially if they're routing. So now, alright, I'm trying to just take out his bodyguard, right? Trying to get some shots into him. I think I end up charging him again. Yeah, I try to charge him here. He runs away. So at this point, I know Sub-Zero is just putting indicators over here to, like, come help there. But I see this going on, and I know that we are going to need these parrot guns. So I want to try and help assist this battle, but what ends up happening is, so I'm seeing this going on. I pull back here with all my infantry, try and rest them up, and I'm going to slowly just start to help surround here. I'm going to try and help get up there to help Sub-Zero, because I see pretty quick here that right, this actually unfolded pretty quick when I'm watching this. Of just, I feel pretty good about Lucifer's positioning here. That he's going to come out of this in good tact, right? Like, these Shogatai are doing really well in the mix there. We got this unit of Shogatai in the mix now, so we've got the Black Tortoise Force shooting, so they're in pretty good shape. Okay, now we got Sub-Zero, right? He's gained control, right? This is just a great hill, even though it's in trees, right? They can just get overlapping fields of fire with each other. So he's going to want to go and get into those here pretty soon. I imagine he does. So, right, now the old Ronin knows he can't really charge, right? We've got a Follow the Samurai army and a Follow the Samurai army on each side of him, okay? Right, they've just got the better guns. And so, and even though, right, you would think they might have some sort of range advantage, not really. Just because I've got my Onabushi, and just we have the cav advantage as well. So, with me having the cav advantage, I think it sets us up well in this. I don't even think I use them to as great of effect as I could, but it's one of those things that he has to constantly position to my cav here pretty soon. So very good. He's going to use these Key just to catch all his cav in the mix, get shot at. So this is going to work out well for Sub-Zero, right? So he's just holding it down, right, up on this hill. I've got the sword dojo at this point, right? They do have the farmhouse, but right, there's no timer, so we have time, we have patience, and Sub-Zero knows, right? Like, this positioning for him is his best bet, unless they can somehow get up and around him, which they still can, all the way up here on this map, which is pretty fantastic. But I'm going to start moving on him, just because I've got to try and keep him, alright, occupied with me so Sub-Zero doesn't get overrun. Right, that is, yeah. So I start to work my way here. I do want to preserve my infantry, right? They have recovered some of theirs, and they're going to recover more. I'm going to end up pulling them back again, because this is when I started to bring up my cav, what I was talking about earlier. So I was a little early on that before, right? And now we got Lucifer coming down the hill. So I'm going to leave my infantry back here and just start to try and harass with my cavalry in order to give Sub-Zero the chance to deal out as much damage as we can here. So now I should have started moving a little bit sooner, truly, right? If I didn't live feed this one, but if I had, right, I was working over here and I just see, and he was putting up pings, some indicators, right, come look to this area, and I was like, actually, yes, definitely. So, right, get the cav up here. Okay, he's gonna bring his bodyguard around here. I'm gonna start getting shots into him if I'm not mistaken, if we haven't already. But shooting it into the woods there on him, it's not going to be great for us. But yeah, there's those shots going in. He's avoiding most of them. If not, I got two. I was able to get two of them in there. So if I'm not mistaken here, right, I think I just get a charge into this rear here, try to break at least some of these. Do the... Nope, he gets his Yari Samurais moving back, so I pull back. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, he gets a little bit of my general here. I don't love that. But, alright, I'm going for these bow samurai now. Okay, they're just isolated. Barak Khan still had some, right? So they did a good job of just, like, surviving here and almost getting to be able to collapse on Sub-Zero, right? And Sub-Zero does lose here eventually, but he's able to get his general out. This is going to be very important later on. Him having his gun general, who is quite strong, still in the mix. So now I've got all my cav moving out there. Okay, I've just got my cav moving away, and now they can't do much about our mobility. And we have the dojos. Or they have to come back this way because of the dojos. So we've got the parrot guns, right? We've got the attack dojo, or the sword dojo, right? Which gives you bonus attack. And the farmhouse, alright? Although it can be important for certain things at certain times, for what they have, it doesn't matter too much, just because even with increased stamina and speed, right, I have cavalry. And at this point now, we can kind of wait for the fatigue to match each other. So the fatigue won't come into play so much once we get into it. Cool. Sorry, just reading some messages there. So anyways, right, they're gonna come down here and collect in this forest, which is probably their best move, because they do have to at least overlook the farmhouse, right? Because if they do retreat up here, all we do, we take the farmhouse, wait for them to come to us. And we have the parrot guns, which are gonna kind of force the situation anyways, okay? I'll go exactly where I know the first shots end up going off from those parrot guns, but we can kind of see the positioning from back here. Okay, they're moving in, right? You think they have some missile superiority, but it's not really because of these parrot guns, right? And our cavalry mobility, we're just going to be able to work that to our advantage. And really just patience, right? And good job by Lucifer here. So he's going to push heavy on this side, right? I'm going to end up moving 2 of my infantry over here and keeping my other infantry. I will eventually move them up just to occupy the sword dojo and be ready to push on the farmhouse and from this direction. Now, we know we got to take them on this hill. And so how can we make it best for us, right? Where we're not fighting uphill the whole time. We use our mobility advantage, okay, in the range of the parrot guns in order to completely surround. So, right, this is going to be a long and slow envelopment to the point where I'll just slow it down, but I do know those parrot guns are about to start shooting. Have they limbered up yet? Yep, they're limbering up right now, so they're gonna get ready to start firing in on these bow samurai, which for us in this situation isn't a bad idea. Or actually, I think he starts taking out these daikyu, which is huge, right? Nice. So it could have been more devastating for sure, right? But now he knows. Alright, with the parrot guns on the move and firing, they know they gotta try and do something. So I just see a little push up here from Giuliano. Okay, I'm gonna continue bringing in those parrots to fire. Really kind of missing there, unfortunate. Right, loose formation, he's doing a good job, and moving, right, gives you that little chance to dodge. Excuse me, sneezing. But here we go, some good devastating shots right there. Alright, and whew, was a good time to use the shrapnel shot, I think, actually. Obviously, that shot worked really well. Or at least it looked cool. So now, right, he's got them all right here. I make a push on him, right? He sees that, but it's like, hey, maybe if I can catch him here, just far enough away from the matchlocks and the bows, because really the old Ronin's most dangerous units here are those matchlocks. If they can get a good volley off without us getting into them, it can be quite devastating. So still getting those shots in. Nice. Oop, that one just missed. But we keep getting shots here, right? It's just a positioning game now. Kind of slow, right? Not the most enjoyable, right? He gets a few shots into my katanas there, but now they're getting still direct shots, right? Now they're not moving. Okay, a little harder to dodge these. The loose formation is good. It is helping. Yep, so he's going to retreat back into the forest, which is smart. You know, I'm curious as how much ammo he actually has left. I'm not sure when the firing ends. And he probably, because he saw them moving up, probably held. So you see me moving. I've been moving my cavalry just kind of all in the back there, right? Really just deciding on what's going to be best. You know, and I noticed Lucifer, right, is moving. He's going the wide approach, which is smart. All right. And now let's begin this envelopment process. Right. You're going to see the slow envelopment here. Kind of play a little cat and mouse with these foot samurai over here. Right. There's only 19 of them, so they're volleys. Although not super devastating, right? They are getting a few. So I move my own cab to start shooting at them. He did a good job of redirecting fire. And then they disappear, right? That doesn't help me out a whole lot. The fact that they disappear, we can't shoot at them anymore. I think, you know, I didn't notice, and I don't think Foot Samurai have the snipe ability. He's not shooting out of there with snipe. And I do think we see it at some point with the Daikys, though. If my memory serves correct, there's some sniping that ends up happening. But now I'm going to go and just get some shots into Giuliano's general here. Yeah, there we go. I don't think I got one, right? Just shooting in the woods, but just trying to force some movement, which it does, right? So here we go, the slow envelopment. I should probably do double speed, just because it lags so much on 3-speed. On triple speed, I should say. Alright, so we've come really close to this envelopment, right? And here we go. This is the move that really makes a big difference, I think, right? His general having guns right here in this position, right? He's able to just take out these bows. The Foot Samurai, I bring my own and get some shots off. I left my general back here, right? At this point, I got to keep him safe. I don't need a stray shot routing him and not giving us the chance to, right, lose this battle. Because we are in kind of the situation, right? It's our battle to lose or our battles to win, right? As long as we aren't foolish. So he gets a few shots in here, right? I think... So they're actually not even sniping though. They're just right there. So, and I'm not sure if you have to unlock the snipe ability with Daikys. You might. Right, he's getting a lot of shots, and now I am just moving my own men in. Yep, they're gonna start moving in. I move them up a little higher here. We're taking our time. Okay, with the slow collapse. All right. We got Lucifer moving his men in. He's going to bring one unit of Shogatai. Right? Why does he bring one at a time? Because he assumes, right, that these matchlocks, which they're not going to, right, because of the positioning. But it's like, if you're going to lose one at a time. Send the weakest down, just soak in whatever, and then you got your strong ones coming in after. Right? I sent my Yari Cavan to his Daikys, right? I pulled him out quick enough, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, right, they get into those Yari Ashigaru a little bit, but I was able to get a good charge on those Daikys. I think I got about 20 of them. We're gonna pull out of there, right? Now the Shogun are coming in. Okay, my own mounted samurai are up there. These guys are gonna come in here late and attack that bow samurai. There's gonna be a gap that forms, right? Okay, so he's got that. I think do I get them in there? Nope, I didn't get into spear wall, but that's okay. I don't even think I was trying to necessarily there in spear wall. So it's pretty good. And now I'm just gonna shoot this gap here. I'm gonna have them just shoot in the back of these Yari Ashigaru. Okay, and this is right all she wrote. We just got the collapse, okay? And you know, the matchlocks they had, they just weren't able to be effective. Because that was their chance to really cause enough morale malice probably to win the battle, but tough situation for them at the end of the match. So good fight, good fun. Right, them getting in there is helpful. I'm like, I should pull them out, but it's just like, do I end up charging them back in? Because at this point, you know, it's game over. Don't want your boys getting shot, which they're definitely getting shot a little bit, as we can see off in the distance over here. And that's it. So it's a fun battle. It's a long battle. Shoot, I should have just looked at the duration right there, but it'll say it. Actually, it doesn't say it right there. It says it here. But yeah, it's a fun fight, a long fight. Holy smokes! Okay, just saw this thing about 10,000 veteran slots. Oh, that's cool. Cause yeah, that's one thing I've been debating with this avatar. If I'm gonna upgrade, there's a lot of different things you can do in order to, right? Kind of push it forward faster. You're upgrading and all that stuff, but I'm enjoying just how I'm doing and how I'm playing. So yeah, that was a 23-minute battle. Pretty long battle, right? Oh wow, I had the highest kill count. That's pretty cool. Not true. The old Ronin did. Shout out to the old Ronin. But good fights all the way around. So let's see. Let's look at some of these top performers here. So right. My Katana Sams, they did well. Even Cocaine did all right, you know, for dying as they usually do. So yeah, right. Katanas did well. Both my Nodachis did okay, you know. These ones, you know, lost more than they killed, but I think these are the ones that I was able to pop Bonsai late into Old Ronin and get my other ones back. So. They were able to do some things, right? Great performance by this Great Guard and by this Yari Cav. No real surprise there. And another, right? Good job by these Yari Ashigaru. 211. Decent day. Sub-Zero, right? The Marines, no surprise, 309 kills. His general, right, was big at the end. Really huge. A lot of morale malice with those guns coming in. His White Bears, very strong. Look at that one, 257. Strong performance. This one hurts. That hurts when you don't get any kills with a follow the samurai gun unit. Must have just been mispositioned somewhere. So didn't notice that obviously, but Yarikachi did all right there. These Carbine Cav did okay. So, but obviously Sub-Zero, right? Really critical role in this whole battle. The Prussian general, right? He went up against the old Ronin, had a tough task at hand, and he did fight well, right? He kept the old Ronin kind of stuck in that forest there. So his best unit may have been that Yari Cav. Yeah, and these Nodachis did well. This Yari Cav is the one that came and assisted me, if I'm not mistaken. So shout out to my teammate for giving me a big help, and Matchlock Samurai actually did quite well here too. So good job there. Lucifer, right, big time. 182 with the parrot guns, which is solid, but those parrot guns were just important in the sense of, right, just gives us the range advantage at all times. So these Yari Keys did pretty good. Black Tortoise Force, 140. Yeah, and then these Shogatai. Boom, look at that, 370. A big game from those guys, 338, 174. So very strong fight from those Shogatai for sure. Um, and we've got Giuliano, the Daikus, big time, 360. That might be the highest kill count on the day for any of the units. 159 from those Wakos, pretty solid. 263 from these no Dachis. Fire cap 200, so good performances from those units right there. And the bulletproofs, they were hidden somewhere. I missed those, and we were doing this, huh? Yep, they were hidden somewhere because Giuliano definitely had a lot of hidden units. So the old Ronin, right? Very solid and balanced play, I think. Ooh, 460. Those are the highest killers. Wow, Naginata Warrior Monk have very good. 460 kills. Had to have a lot of good fights and situations. I know I didn't lock in on that part of the battle so much. But and then 401 from these Nodachis as well. 313 from the Lone Sword. So very good job by the old Ronin. And then Barrack Khan, who I was lined up against. Those Warrior Nuns with 108. That's solid from Warrior Nuns, to be honest, in my experience. But, you know, I was able to really get the upper hand on him in that. Just from a positioning standpoint. Using the forest and coming down the hill on him helped a lot. And then Hawk de Bronx, who had a tough task of taking on Lucifer's Parrot Guns. Fire Cap did pretty good, 128. Yari Ashigaru with 129. Yari Sam with 127. So, good games to my opponents, though. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you come across it, hope you learned something, and have a good one.